And there have already been blockbuster deals galore. So much to get into, so much to talk about. And we're going to tell you about some of it just in case you're trying to catch up, because some of this has happened over the last hour or so. Quinnen Williams traded to Dallas. The Jets are making some big moves. They've shipped off a lot of players, including Sauce Gardner. He's going to Indianapolis. Rashid Shaheed going to the Colts. So you're going to see him there. Oh, excuse me. No, he is going to the Seahawks. Sorry about that. It's hard to keep track of all this. Jacoby Myers is going to Jacksonville. Logan Wilson is going to Dallas. So we are going to tell you a little bit more about why all of this happened, what it means for the NFL, what it means for these teams, and there's still time for more to happen as we welcome you here. Adam Schefter, Mike Tannenbaum, Louis Riddick is with us. And Adam, we're going to start with you, as you may be even working on deals that could still be happening right now. Again, less than an hour until this deadline is actually over. What can you tell us about why Quinnen Williams was traded to the Cowboys?
Well, before we get to Quinnen Williams, I just want to say that this has been, I think, something of an unprecedented trade deadline day. And unprecedented in a way that I think a lot of people were not expecting. I thought that there would be some activity. A lot of people across the league thought there would be some activity. We did not expect the Jets to trade Sauce Gardner. We did not expect the Jets to trade Quinnen Williams. We did not expect some of these moves. Some of them, Jacoby Myers, Rashid Shaheed, we've talked about these names. We've talked about them. The Jets are overhauling their roster and saying essentially at 1-7, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where we are right now.
This is all of us right now. Like, what's going on over there?
Every time it dings, he goes,
What is it?
The condition, yeah, like it's like getting hit in the mouth.
Pavlov's dog.
Anyway, so you asked about Quinnen Williams.
Yeah, let's go there.
There was a lot of interest in Quinnen Williams across the league. And the Dallas Cowboys obviously felt like they wanted to make moves with the draft capital that they had accumulated from the Micah Parsons trade. And so they have traded a first-round pick in 27 in addition to a second in 26 to the Jets, along with Mozzie Smith, for Quinnen Williams. Now, it's interesting. I was on the phone with the GM before. I said, boy, that's a lot to give up. And he said, I don't think so at all. Because you're getting a young, three-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle in the prime of his career. You're bringing him in. I think people feel like that was a great move for the Dallas Cowboys. If you're the Jets, you are sending a message that we now have more draft capital than any team in the league. We control the drafts in 26 and 27. We are going to be taking a quarterback somewhere along the way with somebody that we like. And so the Jets made two huge, massive trades. Now, where they're at right now, as we are 57 minutes away from the NFL trade deadline, a lot of names floating around out there. Quincy Williams, Jermaine Johnson, Breece Hall. Look, something could change in a moment.
Wow.
But my understanding is I think they may be done for the day. I think they may be done for the day. We'll see how that comes. I'm shutting off the buzzer because I don't want to distract everybody.
Well, I mean, just don't shut it off so quiet that you can't figure out what's happening. All right, we'll keep an eye on everything. Again, Adam Schefter is here, so as any news happens, he's bringing it to you. We are with you until 5 p.m. NFL Live comes your way right after this. Louis, I was just in Dallas for this Cowboys game that they lost, that they looked so poor on defense, right? And the Cardinals come in there and get a big win on the road. They need all the help they can get. Do you like this move, and maybe even in totality, the moves that they have made to also get Logan Wilson too?
Yeah, I mean, they're going front to back. Honestly, the secondary is the biggest issue for them. You saw that on Monday night. You saw what the cornerback situation looks like. The safety position is even worse. But this is kind of going to be something that's going to have to be taken in phases. So when you have someone like Quinnen Williams, and then you have someone like Kenny Clark, and you have someone like Osa Odigizua, what have we talked about over the past 2 to 3 years with the Dallas Cowboys when you get in the months of November and December? They get bludgeoned against the run, right? They're too small inside. They don't have enough firepower at linebacker. Logan Wilson changes that as far as having a downhill thumper. So now you get a 27-year-old guy who has 2 years remaining after this year on his contract, who's one of the best TFL producers of all defensive tackles in the NFL, to go along with Kenny Clark, who's an absolute stud. It's a step in the right direction for them. Although in the back end, look, we all know that the NFL is about explosive plays, Mike, and you got to be able to prevent them in the secondary. They need some more weapons back there, too.
Yeah, no doubt about it, but I agree, Lou. At least they addressed what they had to up front, and Quentin Williams is a difference maker them paired with Kenny Clark. And what we saw on opening day when Green Bay came out with all that enthusiasm and energy because they had Micah Parsons and overwhelmed Detroit, I think when Dallas comes off of their bye week and they play the Vegas Raiders, we're going to see the same thing. They're going to have confidence they didn't have that, wait, we actually have some good players now on defense. Now, look, Adam mentioned that there's still 55 minutes to go. There are some corners out there. Maybe it's an Alante Taylor from the Saints. Maybe it's Reek Woolen, although I don't think the Seahawks are necessarily sellers. They have some depth at the cornerback position. So maybe the Cowboys could add a corner, because I agree with Lou. That's something that they need to do.
Yeah, Quentin Williams, by the way, since entering the NFL in 2019, 40 sacks he has, or fifth most among primary defensive tackles. You're looking at the Cowboys' schedule there, of course, at the Raiders. That's a Monday Night Football game. We'll see them there in Vegas. Then the Eagles, the Chiefs. I mean, if they're going to need to make some progress in this schedule, that's maybe how they do it, with adding some of this defensive help. Go ahead, Adam.
My only question would be, they're 3-5-1, and you want to get great players whenever you can, so that really doesn't matter. But is it too late to make the run this year?
I would agree with that, except Quentin Williams is in the prime of his career.
No.
He should be a guy that they have for a number of years.
Agree.
And those draft choices, if on the lower end, that it gives them a little bit more value.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about in the immediate.
They're 3-5-1. I think they thought they'd win last night. They'd be 4-4-1 going into the bye, getting ready for a Monday night game in Vegas against the Raiders, a winnable game. Now you're 5-4-1, and you've added Quentin Williams, and you've added Logan Wilson, and you've made moves post-deadline. My point is, I think the loss last night threw a little bit of a monkey wrench into their plan. Well, they still can make it, but that conference is loaded. There's a lot of teams they're going to have to pass up to make the playoffs.
I mean, what last night showed you, look, it's an explosive play league. That's what it is. And unless they are number one in pass rush win rate, and they're like creating the kind of pressure that absolutely can go ahead and hide what is a terrible secondary, I mean, it's not going to make that much of a difference this year, but in the long run it will, because now they have a lot of youth, they have a lot of size. I mean, Logan Wilson is a stud in the middle. I understand that Cincinnati kind of phased him out there because they don't think that he can run as well, some of the young people that they have, and he can't. But they needed to stop the run. You've talked, I mean, how many times you talk about it on NFL Live over the past 2 years, what Dallas looks like in November and December?
It is the constant conversation. Yeah. The problem, I think, to Adam's point, is that Cowboys fans are like, wait a second, we just lost to the Cardinals at home. What are we doing in the immediate? It just doesn't feel like this is going to be enough to change things immediately. We'll see, though, if it makes enough of a difference. We'll continue to talk about this throughout the show, but how about the deal that Indianapolis did? Adam, let's start with you. What more can you say about Sauce Gardner going to the Colts?
I think this was the one that caught people by surprise. Quentin Williams, there had been a lot of chatter about. This was the one that all of a sudden came out of nowhere. Sauce Gardner tweets out that it was great being in New York, and people thought it was a joke. They thought it was a joke that he was saying. Like, you weren't expecting Sauce Gardner to be dealt, but the deal is that the Colts felt like they had a window now. They've got the best record in football. They're sitting there on top of the AFC. They have a chance to win the division. They have a chance to get home field advantage. They have a chance in the first season without the late, great Jim Irsay to have a memorable season. And so this reminds me a little bit of the Commanders last year, when the Commanders had an unexpectedly great year, and right at the deadline, they traded for Marshawn Lattimore. They went out and did that. Now, the Indianapolis Colts have gone out and traded essentially the price that the Packers